Hello everybody, my name is Jason King and today I'm featuring on the Cherrywood Podcast, so get ready.
Welcome to the Cherrywood Podcast, it's Simon here.
It's Rachel here.
Please like, share and subscribe. Welcome everyone, another episode of the Cherrywood Podcast. Please do the old like, share, subscribe bollocks that we always get you to do. We're with Jason King, tattoo artist. We met Jason about an hour and a half ago, I'd say, and he's done Rachel's tattoo, which was amazing. We took some footage of that. So as we do this interview, I'm going to use a bit of B-roll and we're going and show you close-ups of his work, which we're really impressed with. He's a fine line artist, I'd say. Is that right, Jace?
This particular piece was a fine line tattoo. I generally specialise with realism tattoos. That's my main style.
Perfect. Right. So we're going to go to our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to get in depth with our South African mate here, Jason. All right?
Yeah, let's go all the way.
Let's go to sponsors.
Today's sponsors are Dimedici Associates, Chartered Structural and Civil Engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimediciassociates.com.
Put your business in front of 30,000 new customers with the Hindsight Directory. This A5 full-colour magazine is delivered by Royal Mail to Maidstone, Gravesend, Medway and Bromley, with more areas to come. Visit hindsightdirectory.co.uk. Need stunning video or photography for your big day or even your business? Cherrywood Production delivers award-winning results with a personal touch. From weddings to promotional content, we turn your vision into reality. Visit cherrywoodpro.com today. Your memories, our passion.
And we're back. The sponsors are good, weren't they, Jace?
Yeah, thanks for all that extra money, you know.
What one did you like the most? I always ask our guests.
What, sponsors?
Yeah, what was your favourite?
In what way? I don't get it.
Exactly. Well, you wouldn't know who they are, so we're just trying to put you on the spot, basically.
I thought too much ganja there.
Right, tell us about yourself, mate. You're obviously, you're South African. Your parents are British, aren't they?
Yes.
So was you born in South Africa?
I was born and raised. I've seen the history of the country change from the Apartheid days. I was 2 years old when Nelson Mandela fought for freedom in South Africa. So when I got older, I was fortunate enough to see how we found unity and equal rights in the country. So fortunately, I wasn't from back in the day where the country was colonized. Very, very sad, emotional stuff.
Yeah.
But it was lovely to grow up in the country. I was a footballer. We had a couple of cracking black players in our team, and it was just good to be able to be together without the nonsense of evil men.
What a beautiful way to start the podcast. No, it was.
That's the horror. That's the horror of it. Yeah,
it is. That's right. And progress, obviously. Brilliant. Football. You say football. Is that our football, or do South Africans call football soccer? I don't know.
You'll never. You pass the ball to a black guy in South Africa, you won't find someone who can't play football. So they love football like madly. As big as football is in England. I'm a huge Man United fan, so don't hate me, appreciate me. But yeah, I was a big footballer growing up as a kid.
What did you used to play? Position?
I was a right winger and did eventually play professionally.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah. It was my team was Moroka Swallows. You guys might not be familiar with the team, but
over in South Africa.
Sorry?
Over in South Africa.
Yeah.
Morocco Swallows?
Yes, professional.
Oh, blimey, we've been talking to him for the last hour and a half. We didn't know he was a professional footballer.
Not anymore.
That's what the podcast is for.
Right, okay, so got any stats from your career?
Well, I've got a few trophies of cup finals and winning the league and... I used to be a right winger. I was known for banging good crosses in and just having a good game, man.
Wicked.
So how old were you at this point then?
I was only under 13s.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was, there's cracking, skillful players out there. It was a brilliant scene.
Excellent.
And anyone that you still sort of remember playing with that has made it to the big leagues, or?
Not really. There was your old Benny McCarthy who's made it internationally. Stephen Pienaar, he played for Everton for a while.
Oh.
And, not many locals made it, but super, super skillful players, like from the ghettos there, like really good.
I'm a Charlton Athletic fan, so I always like Mark Fish. Do you know Mark Fish is?
Yeah, of course.
And Sean Bartlett. Do you know Sean Bartlett?
Yeah.
Couple of brilliant players.
Forgot about them, eh?
Yeah.
Did you ever get injured during the football seasons?
I had knee troubles for a while, but, I recovered, and a few ankle sprains and...
Typical right wing stuff.
Yeah, no,
running up and down that line.
Oh, yeah, no, my dad was screaming for that, eh?
And before we get into your actual career as a tattoo artist, your dad's a comedian as well.
Oh, yeah. No, I love him to bits. He's very well known. A very well-known comedian in South Africa. Tony the King, he's done shows with Trevor Noah and local Barry Hilton. So not only on set, he's funny, he's at home. I was laughing. I've been in tears like so many times. What a guy.
And he's a northerner, is that right?
Yeah, he's from the old fucky Rochdale, pal. Don't mess about with me, pal.
Has he still got that accent, even though he's been in South Africa all this time?
Yeah, no, brilliant guy.
And what did it call? Tony the King, is it?
Tony D. King. That's his stage name, normal name, Tony King.
Right, Tony, the as in T-H-E, Tony the King.
D-E.
Oh, D, Tony D. King. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
To look him up.
So did he always used to sort of practice his stuff on you? Come home and sort of be like...
No, sure, he'd obviously socialise with comedians, so you'd be cracking jokes, you know how it goes, and barbecuing and that, he's always got a laugh here and there, so he had that magic inside of him. He's just a true comedian.
Oh. And you've got a sister as well, is that right?
Yes, indeed. She is also a tattooist, and so she was always an inspiration to me. I used to love going in her shop before I was tattooing, and she just had that vibe and scene going. So she's also a sweetheart.
Oh, that's so nice.
Nice guy, isn't he?
That's so
You expect
nice.
tattoo artists to be, full of tattoos for starters, and he's only got about 2 that I've noticed.
Yeah, I know. Sponsored by the sister, freebies.
She needed to practice.
So I take it she's an older sister.
She is. She's the bossy boots, 3 years around.
All right, okay. And is she in South Africa?
She's still there. She's got a lovely little studio. She does piercings as well. She features 2 other artists in her studio, so she's well established, yeah.
Excellent. So what we was talking about when you came over, when I drove you over, because we had to bring all your equipment over, which was funny because we'd literally emptied your studio and filled up mine, was that you're actually heading back to South Africa. And this podcast is coming out at the start of March, and you're going back the end of February. So you're in South Africa as we speak. So we've got a few South African listeners and subscribers. So you'll be able to find him in Johannesburg somewhere. I don't know whereabouts. Where are you going?
Hometown Kempton Park. So those who know South Africa will probably recognise Kempton. It's going to be sad to leave England. Obviously, it's one of the most taken care of countries in the world. So it's going to be a bit harder for me. But you know what? I'm a mommy's boy. And I miss my mom, dad, my nana. So it's time
He's
to
a
move
loving
it.
man. A loving man.
Nice.
What was I going to say? So you've been here for about 6 years, was that right? Did you say 6 years to me?
Yeah, more or less 7, I think, by now.
Okay.
So why did you come over in the first place?
Yeah, what it was, I actually used to do retirement funds. And my what do you call it? The project terminated. We finished the project. So So I had no job, and I had dual nationality passport from my mum and dad. So I thought I'll go and visit my brother in England, and stayed with him in Rochdale, Manchester, and made my way across to Kent. So that's yeah.
So you've got one sister, two brothers, one sister, one brother. Is that right?
Yeah, I am. It's me, my sister from my parents.
Yes.
And then from my dad's side, I got a half brother.
Ah, right. Okay.
Funny,
So dad's remarried, yeah?
Yeah.
I see. Right.
Funny name of my brother. His name is Wayne King.
Is his name really Wayne King?
Yeah.
Your dad so did that on purpose.
Yeah, I know. So it was hilarious. Like, everyone's like, what's your name? Wayne King.
Because I've used that in comedy loads of times, the Wayne King. Yeah. You know, when I get someone to read out stuff for me, if I'm not present at a meeting, I say, and I'm looking for a Wayne King sort of thing.
Oh, we know one.
We know one. Well, we don't know. Well, we know the brother of a real Wayne King.
Yeah, no, it's pretty funny.
That's like Kevin Bloody Wilson. His daughter is called Jenny Taylor, isn't she?
I have no idea what you're
Kevin Bloody Wilson is an Australian comedian.
Oh, right. Okay.
Known for doing Hey Santa Claus You, C-U-N-T.
Right.
And his daughter, her name is Jenny Taylor.
Oh, my God. Why would you do that to a child?
Or Jenny Taylor or something like that, yeah.
Sisters Donna King. I'm Jason King because I'm from South Africa. Get it right.
So she gets called Don King then? Does she the promoter of all tattoos?
No, that's my other half sister.
Oh, right, okay.
They're my true sister, Kimberly King.
Kimberly King, right, okay. So
bless.
What do you want to say what your brother does and your half sister and half brother get up to before we start into you?
Are they artistic
we'll get to you
like
eventually.
Yeah. My brother, he's actually also a musician, guitarist, so we're all blessed with talents. And my other brother that I lived with in Rochdale, he's roofing, general builds. So, hard-working man, cracking guy. Beautiful family, also professional footballers. In fact, his daughter plays for the Lionesses football.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, they've played for big clubs and everything.
Wow.
Amazing. How old's his daughter?
She's now, I think, 20-odd.
Oh, right. So she's playing for the, first team Lionesses?
It was 2 years ago. It might be the second team. I'm not too sure. Okay. But she plays Lionesses. And I can't think of the other team, Premier League side, that she was playing for. So,
blimey. We ain't going to get to you. We're going to end up going through your whole family and realise you're, your uncle's King Charles or something.
Yeah, no, it's Queen's mate's wife.
Brilliant.
So, let's get more onto you then. So how did you start your journey of becoming a tattoo artist then? Were you creative at school? Did you like drawing and doodling and everything like that? Or was that later on in life?
I'd never have imagined myself being a tattooist. You're a kid, you don't know what you're going to be doing. Dad had the odd tattoos from Rochdale, so...
Anchors and things like that, were they?
Yeah, the old roughies, but...
Hey you, who me, that sort of stuff.
Love and hate.
Yeah, love and hate on his hands.
Yeah, no, he's true Englishman, obviously he's older now, he's matured and he's... man of God, so he's all right. But how I got into it was doodling school books and little logos, skateboarding logos, and just started off on those type of things. And then I used to actually skateboard, and me and my mates would go to the skate park, and afterwards we'd land up sleeping at his house and drawing, so we'd all draw together because my mate was a really good artist and we were like 16, so we'd sit at his house and developed our skills from there.
Wow,
that's cool.
So do you remember the first person that you actually got ink to skin, not pen to paper, ink to skin.
And
Yeah.
Did you train on like pigskin and stuff? That's the thing you do, isn't it? You train on pigskin.
There's it's not necessarily pigskins now. It's imitations of real skin.
Right.
A lot of people are critics about it. They say, "Oh, it's nowhere near the same, different ball game." But I'm a tattooist, and I know it's a brilliant way to practice. It's so similar. The only difference is you got more passes before chewing the skin. So make sure you're doing those first before touching anybody.
Right, so the imitation stuff is a bit harder to penetrate. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's too much negativity, really. I think the fake skins, they're little soft, flappy A4 sizes, and they exactly the same as real skin to me. The textures we receive in the line work, it's the only difference is you can't chew it up. It's like you would with real skin.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's bang on. It's bang on.
I never even knew that stuff existed, to be honest. Why would I? I don't know. Yeah, it's brilliant.
So do you have a particular signature style, or because obviously earlier on you said that you don't really do colour, it's mainly black and, well, I was going to say black and white, but it's mainly just ink outline sort of thing.
Grey and black
Grey?
and white. Grey, black.
Yeah.
Grey and
Yeah. What it is, I specialise with grey wash tattoos. The reason being, I can do colour. However, I specialise with grey wash tattoos because I feel it's got a nice, tidy, mature feel to it. You can wear any clothes with black. It's a primary colour. Black and white goes with any colour. You're not walking around looking like a Christmas tree type of thing. So grey wash is just that's what I specialise in, and I love the texture and emotion to it. So that's why I love grey wash.
Because sometimes colour can actually fade, can't it? I know one of my cousins had a tattoo here, and she had four hearts, and it was 2 blue ones and then 2 pink ones. And obviously where it is, the 2 pink ones are faded, but the 2 blue ones are there. So I know colour can actually fade quite a lot, especially in the sun and stuff. Good
observation. I mean, if you look at the colour black, it is the strongest colour out of all colours, and this being the reason that it doesn't fade like other colours. So especially when you're using yellows and very, very lighter, calmer colours, they tend to not retain as well. Nowadays, you've got thicker, richer, quality colour inks. The EU has banned the old ones because they were known to form carcinogenic properties. But now the EU has come down on that, and they've changed ingredients. So they are now good colours. However, it's messy to work with, and you got to be a top dog to really pull off a good colour piece.
All right, fair enough. So I suppose in the other reason is that every bit of art you do is an advertisement for you, and like you say, sort of coloured tattoos don't stand the test of time, do they? With regards to not only them lasting, but their style, I imagine, as well. And so, do you turn down requests for certain tattoos based on the style, and also they've got a lot of colour in it? And are you thinking of the future of them walking around with this tattoo? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Defo. I do try lead people into the direction of grey wash. I do explain to them, look, we can do colour. However, I don't recommend it. I mean, there's a whole industry of grey wash tattooists, and most of the best tattooists in the world are specialising with grey wash. So I do try lead them onto grey wash, give them a background insight from obviously my point of view and my passion, and what I would like to give to the client. I have said to clients when it's really busy and I can't turn them down, I say, look, find a colour tattooist. However, when I'm a bit quieter, I do take on the odd colour piece, but I do try lead them onto the grey wash style.
Yeah. Have you got a network of artists that you know and you can trust and talk to and rely on type thing, as in recommend?
Yeah. Look, some of my personal favourites, local, Rusty Nails. You can find him on Instagram. He's always been super duper good. Like, there's just those guys where they, no matter what, you're just not going to top them. And you can be doing it for 6 years. This guy is just going to be ridiculously good. You know, it's like football. You got those players that just shine. Another artist who's really doing well at the moment, Noah BC. He's just released a course on realism portraits, and like literally putting down pieces, showing details of pores of the skin. He's just the tiniest of information he's putting down, and we'll try and maybe show you a few of his pieces, but it's just insane.
Going on to portraits, you do a few portraits yourself, don't you?
Yeah, look, my style of tattooing is realism. So I do take on portraits. I've done Elvis. I've done a man's son who's only 6 years old, a little baby photo. I've got another one of a sailor. So, you know, I would have done so many more, but to gain trust of clients, I feel I've been underestimated in the industry, and that's why I haven't done many portraits.
Yeah, it does.
But I am capable of doing them.
It does take a lot of trust, doesn't it? Because, you know, we've seen those horror tattoos on the internet where someone's
like
attempted something.
Ones, and they look nothing like.
And also the spelling mistakes make me laugh. You get a montage of those dodgy spellings, you know.
I mean, as an artist, you would check and double check and triple check that you've got the spelling absolutely right, wouldn't you?
We should have got you to put your quote on there, Rach. That quote that makes no sense.
way.
It's on the cups. This is one of Rachel's quotes. Don't do as I do as I don't do.
So basically, don't copy me and don't copy me.
Don't do as I do and don't smoke weed.
Yeah, we should have put that on you, Rach, on the bottom of your
No
spine or
chance.
something.
It's on the bottom of my
On your
foot.
arse.
No, it can happen, like spelling errors, you know, you got to be grammatically correct. You know, capital letters on important words and stuff, you got to be extra sure. A incident I once had was one of my clients, he wanted a verse from the book of Psalms, 27 verse 1. So that was how they brought it across to me. We checked out the spelling, the font style, the script writing, everything was good. We nailed it, only to realize afterwards that the book of Psalms, you can only say the book of Psalms, whereas the chapter or the book is Psalm with no S. So we had to put the book of above, you know, little things like that. You got to be careful of.
Right, okay.
Wow. So what's your creative process then? So someone phones you up and says, I want a tattoo. They've obviously got some ideas in mind. Take us through like the creative process from literally talking to the client to wrapping it up, all done, they're out of your studio.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, I always love it when someone calls in, hey, I'd like to do this, that. What they do normally, they got a reference in mind, or they've saved something that they want to get done or they've seen. So they forward the image to me. And a lot of the time they may have chosen a very amateur artist's reference. So what I love doing is finding a more professional, better looking reference, and I lead them into the right direction of choosing a nicer reference of the same idea, just only bettering what they had in mind. So they're even more happier. Once we know the size, layout and backgrounds and this and that, we can come down to conclude to a quotation and find them a slot.
Perfect.
Wow. So how?
go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, how long do some of these take?
Yeah, well, that's a boring question. My question was, don't worry about her question. Obviously, you used a stencil on Rachel's, which is obviously the best thing to do. When you got her to stand up, you put the stencil on, you said, what do you think of that? Me and Rachel went, yeah, that's perfect. And you still went, well, I'm not happy with it, and moved it over. That's a mark of a perfectionist, which is amazing. My other question is, are you still using the printer and a stencil when it comes to those fine art type photos? So if you're doing a photo of someone or art, like Elvis, and is the shading, the lighting and the shading, is it the same as it was if you were drawing on a bit of paper with a pencil? Is the technique when you're using the actual the tattoo machine?
The rotary pen cartridges. I'm a big tattoo fan. I'm probably one of the biggest nerds you're ever going to meet. I'll go on and on about it for hours, like the techniques and the different cartridges. You got larger groupings of cartridges, which are wider, and they're like a paintbrush. So this is...
it's like a multi-needle, isn't it? I think when you're colouring in, it's like a multi-needle of 4 or 5 pins, isn't it? I remember seeing that.
Yeah, you get up to 17.
Really?
Gauge 17.
That must be quite thick
So it's like having thick paintbrushes.
Yeah, you got that wide paintbrush, and the reason being is you get a more consistent transition.
Okay.
Because had we been going with a smaller grouping, there's room for error. But the larger brushes, the larger groups, you can just...
I suppose you can blend it in as well. It gives a bit more of a contrast when you're trying to blend into something a bit more darker as well.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, had we been on let's say a 5, which is an individual smaller thing, you got less consistency throughout the shade. Shading into darker areas and that, it's depending on the shape and what it is. It's the transitions, you got to be careful. Like a lot of the starting artists, what they don't realise is we're using diluted cups of literally 1 drop with water of black, with 1 drop black, 1 drop with water in a cup, and that is light, like barely visible.
And then as you're gradually getting darker, you're adding another drop. Is that right?
Yeah, depending on what section you're doing. Like, let's say we're on a nose, the nostrils are probably a darker tone, whereas the curvatures and so forth around the bridge of the nose, you're just building up saturated textures, very light, which is a big mistake. A lot of artists go too dark.
Oh, I see where you're coming from. So you're literally applying layers, like on Photoshop. You would do layers. Right, okay, so in theory, it's nothing like drawing with a pencil, because you would just be applying extra weight if you want it darker and finer.
It has the same effect. You push harder, you're going to get a slightly darker line.
So it does. Oh, right, okay.
It does.
But obviously you can't take that out. If you make a mistake, you can't take that out, rub it out.
You're better off starting as light as possible and then gradually bringing it in.
Yeah.
Because if you go too dark, like you say, you're done.
Yeah.
Out comes the laser.
I thought when you were saying,
stressful.
I thought you said when you were talking about like the nose, I thought you actually meant like tattooing someone's nose. I was like, no way.
Rather not, guys, please.
Only you would think that, Rach. Only you would think that. Go on, you can ask your silly time question now.
Yeah, I was going to say, because some of these pieces that people must get you to do are huge. Like some of them have whole back tattoos and everything like that. Surely someone can't sit there for, I think they've got like 7 hours, I think.
They do sessions, don't they?
Sessions, don't they? What's the longest one you've done?
The time it takes to do a piece, it has traumatized me like a bit, to be honest, because nowadays, I'll just go through the whole process here. Nowadays, to do a piece, the techniques involved, the amount of detail we're putting in is different to back in the day with the coil machines. You'll see that, like, evidently. So, like, for instance, Noah BC, the artist who's doing the realistic portraits, he's spending 22 hours on one piece.
Oh, my gosh.
Obviously divided into 2 sessions. But that's just, like I said, those brushing textures, you're barely touching the skin. You just gradually
for hours and hours
saturating that area, giving it a smooth texture. So to explain to clients the modern techniques is very important. If you go in and you want a good piece, you got to sit there. You can't just be like, oh, I thought I'd be done.
And do you explain that to him before you even start?
I do. I've got a little video I've made where it's another artist's podcast, and he goes over explaining how many hours and hours of this certain style of tattooing takes. There are your one-shot artists who can do a five-hour piece, no problem. But that's a different technique. You're doing realism. You want that the realistic
look
textures. Yeah. You're gonna be sat there for a long time. You see artists doing paintings and stuff. Ask those artists of realistic paintings and pastel, whatever it is, how long did it take? They're spending 40 hours on a piece. So this is artistic knowledge you got to have.
So price-wise, would they know they're going to spend that amount of time, or would they price it by the hour?
Here's the thing, like, you can either charge per hour, a day sitting, or per design. I don't have the heart to do hourly because I'm a perfectionist. I like to fart on, so I wouldn't like to be taking my time while I'm taking someone's money. So I personally charge per design. This way I'm less under pressure with how much it's going to cost them. However, there are day sitting rates with certain studios. There's per hour, but depending on their style and technique, it's going to determine your price.
Yeah.
Okay, so pain-wise, where, in your opinion, do you think is the most painful place on your body to get tattooed?
It can go from whether you're male, female, fatty tissue, to the nerves on your area. It's that's the anatomy of the body. I've got a pain chart, and you'll see the dark high zones are more your ticklish, very softer skin areas, armpits, for males specifically, calves where there's no fatty tissue, like females, very sore on the calf, especially if you're doing the darker tones and lining.
Have you ever had anyone tap out on it and go, I just can't do it anymore?
I've had guys there clenching their fists. I think they're going to swing at me because it's hurting, but I am very gentle with my technique. But I've had people who like, can we have a break? I'm going to have to do another session. However...
How about pass out?
I've had 2 clients pass out. And
in one sitting, both of them.
Yeah, before and after. No, I'm kidding, but I've had 2 clients pass out. His nerves, he didn't eat, he was shaking. The studio I had was a bit small when I started, and he was claustrophobic or something, and he just collapsed. Oh my word. God. I wasn't ready for it. I called the nail technician next door. I'm like, okay.
What do I do?
Oh, right, so he hadn't even started?
Yeah, no, we were halfway through.
Okay, so did he get up and collapse? You say he collapsed. Was he standing when he collapsed?
He got up. He's like, hang on, Jason, I don't feel well. And boom, on the ground he went.
No.
So I was stressed out. I've got my what you call the whole CPR training.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
So we sat him up, gave him sugar, lay him down. He was sweating. He never even came back to finish.
No.
So scary.
And what was it like? Was it half done? And would it have passed for a
as
tattoo of what you had already done?
Yeah, no, everything was fine. It was only a little name for his daughter, I think.
Oh, right. So he's just got a nickname now, has he? Instead of Megan, he's got Meg, has he?
He's got Get Nick now.
Have there been any sort of memorable or really challenging tattoos that stick in your mind that you think,
Yeah, I nailed that.
Yeah, nailed it, or
Never
I'm never
again.
doing that again.
A big challenge type of thing. Yeah.
Your ankle roach.
Literally last week I had a dark work piece. Obviously I could name loads of pieces where it's not easy. But I had to stencil around a guy's knee some dot work, a mandala. Ooh. And it just wasn't folding and sticking around the curves of the knee. Even though I put stress cuts in the stencil, everything, it just wasn't getting that shape.
Can I ask what the tattoo was around the knee? Did you say dot work around the knee?
Dot work style mandala. Yeah.
What does that? What I don't even know what it means.
So, geez, you got dot work, literally
Little dots.
dots building up illusions of different shapes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's quite tribal, isn't it? The pattern in itself.
Mandalas, yeah, not tribal. That's a bit old school, really. There are good tribal styles. Mandalas are your Asian type of patterns, mirror imaging of every side.
A bit like henna work, that sort of.
Yeah, they are related in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of henna artists would have done mandalas, possibly. They're a sign of symbol of rebirth and so forth.
I see. I'm going to drift off here, but when we started mentioning tribal, we've been to Hawaii, and the Hawaiian and Samoan work is amazing, isn't it? And they do it using like cut down reeds and stuff, don't they?
The poke technique.
There we go. He knows. I was hoping it'd bail me out because I'd gone past my.
I was just trying to wait for you to finish. Going, where are you going with this?
But some of them that can be very dangerous, can't it?
I'm not familiar with the technique. My sister did a little course on it, so
Right.
I think she knows how to do it. But obviously, you got power here with the rotary machine going whatever per second.
Yeah.
With voltage.
And then you've got some human just pushing it in themselves.
One dot at a time, like, that's just really, like...
And they're doing full-on body stuff, aren't they? Usually round here, a bit of the rock in it, you know. And, and I've heard that can be really dangerous from a hygiene point of view as well, I imagine.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Defo.
Because hygiene is a massive thing for you guys, isn't it?
Which leads us on to hygiene. You were talking, we picked your gear up. I picked your gear up. You had already wrapped it in cling film before it even got in my car. And when it's in here, you know, you treated it with the same respect as you treat your studio, and everything was wrapped in cling film, because obviously hygiene is really important, but you have sort of people just turn up and check you for hygiene, don't you? Do you want to go through what they actually do when they turn up to check?
Yeah, I know, especially around midway, you got to use a condom. No, I'm joking.
He's been here far too long.
God, that's where I've been going wrong. I've got 5 kids.
Yeah, I know, it's scary stuff. Infection control is a must-have. You got to get your certificate training. It's just basically around your pathogens and how you're washing your hands, your gloves, your wrapping of the tools and equipment. It's your waste. You got to separate cartridges in a sharps container, whereas your tissues containing bodily fluids would have to be collected by where I go, business waste, separate bags to your normal bins and everything. So it's going to hospital type of thing. You don't want surgery from your butter knife, whatever.
Yeah. And I imagine there's quite a bit of expense in the waste disposal of that. Is there for you?
It is. Gee, like December, I went on a little holiday and you got to pay like 30 quid, or it's even 40 now, for 3 bags of waste and a sharps container, and it's regularly going out. So there's a lot of expenses.
Okay.
So going back to Simon's question earlier on, when you've actually said no to someone before, but has someone actually come to you and said, this is what I want? They wanted you as an artist because you're amazing at what you do. Have you had to sit there and sort of do whatever they want and just look at it and think, you know?
Not my thing. No, I've had guys, I was trying to think of an example. I've had guys where I'm like, okay, I normally wouldn't tattoo this. Would you not prefer something of more of my style? I've had to do tattoos that I don't want to do. And my heart was hard because you only do well if you love doing something.
Yeah.
So to love a piece that I don't really like and do well was kind of challenging, but
yeah, imagine
I still got to do it.
Imagine if it's a piece that takes hours and hours as well. And so you've got hours and hours of doing something that you don't really believe in. It must be hard.
Well, it's like painting and drawing, right? If you're sitting there just sketching something thinking this is going to be crap at the end, you're not going to put your all into it, are you? But you sort of have to.
Perfect example is that you get this little rough kid, yeah, man, I want my whole arm clouds. And I mean, that's the most like hasty rush decision just to get that full sleeve effect. And I'm like, cool, clouds are cool, but you'll get these bubble cartoon style clouds, and it's like amateur 5-year-old drawing looking things.
Looks like the start of The Simpsons.
Yeah. So I try to tell them, look, get a nice piece of face with a background, honeycomb or something, and you can still have that full effect of
Clouds.
Of a full sleeve instead of going, yeah, fill it up as quick as you can. That's an example.
Wow. Where's the weirdest place you've personally tattooed someone?
In here.
Yeah, no, I've actually had a lot of, invasive private areas. I've had sternums between the breasts. So it's...
Yeah, but that's quite... I find that tattoo in the gap of the boobs quite hot, actually.
Yeah, but that would hurt. But only if you've got nice boobs as well. If you've got horrible boobs, no one's going to
Well, at least
see
they're out the way. You can get to it easier. If they're saggy, you can get to them a lot easier and draw it.
Yeah, I had a client, had one over my shoulder.
How about how about any old penises or anything like that?
You can't do that.
You can. People have their penises tattooed.
I've literally seen a video, a porn star getting her actual arsehole tattooed. I was like, what?
I must confess, I've seen that one. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh my God. Oh God, that would hurt so much. Oh, yeah.
Pain in the arse. That's the pain in the arse.
Pain in the arse.
And it didn't even say no entry. It said this way.
Oh God. But then, I've seen people get it on the bottom of their feet before. Because a lot of people now, it's becoming I don't know if it's a trend or not, but a lot of people are having it done on their face as well,
a lot
aren't they?
up the... Do you ever do them up the neck and on the face? You ever done anything like that?
Yeah, look, I've seen this bloke walking around in Strood and he's literally, you can't even see his face skin. He's nailed his whole face. And I'm like, whoa. For me, that's a bit too much, but he looks hardcore, he looks cool, don't hit me now.
It does worry me because, and I may be out of order for saying this, but it makes me think mental illness or something like that when someone's done that, Yeah,
I know, he's scared his girlfriend's going to cheat or something, I don't know.
There's appreciating art and then there's sort of doing that. I don't know, maybe I'm just old.
But there's that person that's got literally like they tattoo their eyes. That
that is mental, isn't it?
Oh, I'm assuming you've never done that before.
Hell no.
Only by
I'll go to jail for that.
Slip of the old wrist. Yeah. So you've never done any facial stuff?
Nice ones that I have done. You get above the eyebrow writing.
Yeah.
You know, for those badass girls and so forth.
Yeah.
I've done a few, like, behind the ear, little starbursts. And
yeah.
You do get in front here, sideburn area. You get like a little mandala type of pattern, and it looks quite nice. You know, it looks kinky. It looks nice, depending on what it is.
Yeah. How about the one where the bloke's shaved half of his pubes and there's a little stick man with a lawnmower?
Yeah, no doubt. He's like... well, I actually wanted to do a piece with a fly on someone's arse. Saying, I love Chatham or something.
So do you find there is a trend? Do you see people coming in thinking, oh yeah, this again? Do you see the trends come and go?
It used to be the tribal stuff, didn't it? For a long time.
Yeah, back in the day, it was your old anchors and like little lions and tribal, you know. What was back in the day? Your rose with a scroll or a pirate skull, whatever, the old school tattoos with lines like this thick.
Lots of clocks with births on.
Yeah.
The time of birth and the date. Lots of them, weren't there? I suppose you still get a few of them.
Because it amazes me how thin you can actually get with the lines now. Because obviously, how thin do the needles go?
Yeah, and can you explain the old, whatever you said, rotary to the new one?
Defo, those two topics, I'll cover the old, yeah. So you got gauges of literally one needle. You don't often use those, I don't. And that's your smallest, like an injection of one needle. So that's the tiniest line you're going to get. It'll look like a little vessel type of thing.
Can I ask what you used on Rachel? When you did
Yes, this is the one gauge upwards, a grouping of 3.
Oh, really? Okay, it looked like 1 when I was zooming in on it, but that's cool.
Yeah, very, very small. You can get tighter groupings of 3, and these are your bug pin cartridges. Bug pins because you pin bugs with them, and they are very thin needles. So those are your fine line, little groupings, tiny little dots.
Okay. So bug pin, because when they used to, like, archaeologists would collect bugs.
Yeah.
That's what you'd pin. That's basically what you'd pin like a butterfly
beetle,
with or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
All right, I see. Okay, that's a good idea. It's a good way of naming them, I suppose.
So
According to my knowledge, bug pins are the smaller ones.
I don't know why I said archaeologist, but, you know, someone that likes insects.
What was the old method called? I can't. What was the old method called?
Coil machines or rotary pins?
So how did they used to work then? Because a lot of people, elderly people that have tattoos, they're always quite thick lines, aren't they? Did they ever go down sizes or anything like that? Or is it more you got your standard line from them?
You know,
I think it's more of the motion. The coil is done on a magnetic coil with electronic pulse, which makes it go in and out. And I assume, sorry, I'm answering this for you, but I might be absolutely wrong. I'm assuming that coil machine went a lot slower than these newer machines with the prodding and thingy in.
Yeah, possibly, unless they had a good voltage going on. I do know coil machines, they still use nowadays because they hit harder.
Okay.
So if the guy's just lining, coil machines are more recommended because they hit nicer for the lines, and they're even louder. Back in the day, you go in a tattoo shop, you heard
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Nowadays, the rotary pens, beautiful, quiet technologies.
So can you explain why they're called rotary pins? Are they actually twisting as they're going in or something?
Plug-in cartridges, the I don't know why it's rotary pen, to be really honest, but you got plug-in cartridges, whereas the coil machines were long, things you'd connect somehow. I wasn't in the industry in those days.
Yeah.
My sister was. So I'd see her doing it, and now we just plugging in, boom, change cartridge. Coil machines, you'd have to like do some other stuff, and it was harder.
And you're changing. I imagine you're changing these cartridges every time you do a job, aren't you? Do they have the pins on them? The cartridge come with the actual needles. If
I'm struggling, I just pass HIV on to.
No, what I'm trying to say. So, because I don't know if the cartridge holds the pin permanently, but it sounds like the pins, the needles, are held in these cartridges, and you do have to dump them all.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
You got a sharps container.
Yeah.
And this is clinical waste, so no matter what, you throwing that whole plug-in system away.
Dude, the money they must be each time you're doing one of them.
You know, the good ones, Quadron, brands like Quadron, Cheyenne, you can get, it's not too bad, box of 20 for about 30, 40 quid.
Yeah. See, I'm in an industry where I don't have to keep buying stuff. You know what I mean? I just charge batteries and format hard drives and memory cards and things. You know, having to keep buying something constantly like that would, that's part of your overheads, obviously. And
it's one of those where I've got a lot of brand new stock per session, so it's not a downside. I love it. It's exciting. Sometimes I'm tearing out so many cartridges because I want to get this gauge here, this, that. So I can whack a piece out with one cartridge, but I tend to save a lot of time with the larger groupings and that. So you go through a lot of inks, cups and stock, but that's what makes
part of the game, isn't it?
Interesting. Yeah.
So what is the most rewarding part of being a tattoo artist?
You know what it is? Going through the process is sometimes blood, sweat, tears, chaos, stress. Some sessions I just piss it like dead easy. What I love though is when I'm done and that work satisfaction, when you look at the piece and you say, I did that. And it's just a sense of achievement, and to know that that person has had something exciting for the day and they're going to feel good.
Because you can tell tattoo artists who do it just for being a tattoo artist, but then you can tell the real artists, and you come across as being a real artist, being so proud of your work, and so, I don't know, just loving every minute of it. And that's always, that's what I would look for in a good tattoo artist, someone who actually really wants to do this, and that's what comes across with you. So that's always good.
Yeah, and have you made friends from your job? So people that come back to you constantly that you now class as friends rather than customers?
Everyone I know is from my studio. Like, I've got around England and that, like, I've met girls, I've met mates, I've met people that I just see walking around town. I see my clients and I'm like, oh, should I say hi, I've had some beautiful woman come through, so that's always exciting. You can't deny that. It's just like really, it's great to meet lovely people. They've helped me out. Like I've had a client, he literally helped me install my flooring and gave me little carp fishing reels and stuff, and just a true good lad.
I might know this geezer. Where is he?
Coral something.
Nah, don't know.
Lives on a boat. He's cool, funny.
That's good. Brilliant. So you're obviously going to South Africa. Have you got plans for what you're opening up there?
Yeah. Look, getting back, it's a full 7 days of beer, no doubt. So not jumping straight in, but quite quickly I've spoken to my sister, and I'm director, I run my own company, whereas when I go back, I'm going to work for my sister in her studio. It's a lot better than mine here. So I'll have a lot more trust with the clients, with mates and that, because they know my capabilities. Whereas around here, it was hard to, it's like beauty. Girls go do this, that. it's my body. Don't mess it up. So it's going to be good.
Well, you're doing something that's going to affect the rest of someone's life, aren't you? So there's always a lot of trust involved. And if your sister's got a great reputation in her shop, then that should help you no end. And if she's allowing you in her shop, then, and you know how honest bleeding siblings are, so you must be doing something right if your sister says, yeah, come and work with me.
You know, my sister is vicious. She's like a wild animal. If I brush my teeth and shave and left hairs in the sink, I get a smack bottom.
That's what siblings do, though.
Yeah.
Get out of my room.
Yeah.
I've borrowed a hat, this, that, lost it. And geez, that was World War III. But yeah, it's going to be tough. She's going to scratch me to pieces and I've got to be careful.
Right, so this might be a hard question, but how are people going to find you? Do you want to talk about your sister's tattoo parlour? Is that's what you call it? I don't know. I think you do.
It's a tattoo studio. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so obviously she'll have a business page. South Africa is not as on the ball as England, so we don't have a lot of community apps on Facebook and so forth. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a lot of word of mouth, already existing client base there. I'll be advertising online, Facebook, and with my local mates and so forth. A brilliant part of tattooing is they want to show it off, and that's word of mouth straight away.
And do you have your...
That's pretty much your work, isn't it? So the fact that it's walking around in town, that's advertisement for yourself anyway.
So do you have your own Jason King and Instagram and TikTok or something like that?
Yeah, my business name is Inkjection Tattoos Limited. So it's like an injection.
Yeah.
Only with a K. So Inkjection.
Okay.
And then space tattoos, space LTD. That's my current business page. Instagram, Facebook. If you book in, you can even WhatsApp me. Any form of communication, as long as we nail it.
Brilliant. So if you've got any questions for Jason and you can't get hold of him, but come through us and we can always try and get hold of him, because I want to wish you all the best back in South Africa, mate. But also stay in touch. Yes. I know we've only known you for a couple of hours, but you're a genuine guy and a really good artist. And I'm going to be booking in before you go. So that'd be perfect.
No, I'd appreciate it. You know, a lot of the English people took really good care of me, like very concerned when I didn't have clients and this and that. They was only trying to help through these difficult times where so many people want to immigrate and be here. It's tragic, you know, for the English, and they've still helped me out till this day. So big respect for most of the English people.
Oh, mate, doesn't matter where you go in life, there's always an arsehole somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
and you'll be tattooing it. And you'll be sticking a fly on the arsehole, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know. It's entry sign, no entry sign.
No entry sign. All right, that's brilliant. So, Jason, thanks, Jace. Well, actually, we do something. We forgot. We haven't done this with you. We have a set of questions here.
Here we go.
We've got a set of questions. You can pick 3 or 4 out, and they're random questions, and we're going to see if you can answer them.
Oh, awesome. So what do I do?
Open it up and read it.
What's saying? What's one conspiracy theory that you think might be true? I've seen a black cat walk across the road. Is that what it means?
Well, kind of. If you think
if you believe
that's
in that.
more, a black cat is more of a
superstition.
Illuminati.
Yes.
What if the 7-headed dragon is about us already? Or
now he's lost me, but you carry on going. Yeah, like a conspiracy theory could be aliens already on Earth and the government are talking to them, that type of thing. Could be anything like that.
You know, I'm a Christian, so I believe there's only man and animals. superstitious. I only know something. Can I choose another one?
Yeah, of course you can.
I don't think of any conspiracy.
Just so you know, Rachel's had to answer the phone, so I will zoom this in to just me and you, and we'll pretend she's not just drifted off to answer a phone call.
If you could have dinner with one person, living or dead, who would it be?
Well, if you want a bigger portion, it'd be better if they're dead, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now you'll bend over, you're boring. Selena Gomez, no doubt.
Oh, right,
Jesus.
okay.
I'll eat her alive, so she will be dead. Oh.
Perfect. Next.
Selena Gomez.
You can have
How many do I go?
Yeah, you can do 3 or 4 just to fill it out. You never know. There might be a question here that gives us actual gold on the podcast. You never know what brings things out in people.
What's the most awkward moment you've ever had in public? I have had a few. I just need to remember one. Jeez. Why can't I remember?
I think my worst one was the cinema, Rach, wasn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. Simon, we trip each other up and we, try and make each other fall over in public.
You know when you're trying to get through an aisle of a cinema? She's always at the end of the aisle. And she's always trying to trip me up, yeah.
So I did that because he said, I'm just going for a wee. So I did that and I was like tripping him up. And he was like, oh, you bitch. So I went off for a wee. And when he came back down, he literally walked past me and the kids, went to the row in front, literally put his arse in this woman's face, turned around, went to grab her boobs, realised it wasn't me.
Oh, no.
Apologised, couldn't get out there quick enough, came back to our row, because when he came down, I went like this, leant forward to get something out my bag. He missed our row, and in front...
We have 2 kids together, right? And I left with my wife being in the first seat, my daughter being in the second seat, and my son being in the third seat, right? But unbeknown to me, there was an identical family in the row above.
No,
right?
they're silhouette type of thing.
No, they looked identical. A red-haired woman, a blonde-haired daughter, a spiky-haired son, right? And where she had bent down to do her lace, I just see it and focused on this, and it was the wrong bloody family.
So he turned around, wiggled his arse in her face, turned around and went to go like that. I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I literally mounted her and started like doing lap dancing on that.
And I just went, Simon, that's not me. And he went, oh my God.
I apologise to this woman. She found it funny, but then, as I was watching the film with my hood on, like I was just sort of...
It was like, God, get me out.
And then I was looking at her and she seemed all right, but she must have been in shock.
Rapist. You probably thought you raped me.
Honestly.
In the cinema.
Unbelievable. Got anything? Do you think of something?
I do remember one now. I was walking through a mall, and we were only little kids at the skate park, so laughing around. I had some loose tracksuit pants on, and this dude I knew, he came from behind me, pulled him down in the middle of the centre.
Oh, God.
And, it was so embarrassing. So I was quick enough to get out of it, but still.
Did your underpants go down as well?
Nearly, right, okay. But it was just like scary as hell, especially for me.
Because we used to have those, I think it was Adidas ones that used to have the popper bits on the side.
Oh, yeah.
And they used to,
be like
the
a
amount of
striptease.
times you used to just pull those off. And I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And
The whole thing would come off.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Whoever designed those was ridiculous.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Thanks for that, mate. And we've got one more question for you now. We have a Spotify playlist, so we would like you to choose a song that we can put on the playlist. Anything that means anything to you.
Well, I am a musician, so it can either be my song or...
Is your song on Spotify?
It is rap, which I don't really do anymore.
Rap?
Yeah, I'm tired of rapping though.
Yeah, but let's put that on anyway. You can have 2. You can have the rap one on, tell us the information of it. So send me a text with the info on it and I'll add that. Okay. And now you can choose another one.
That was from when I'm younger, like when I was into it. Now I'm too mature, I don't like bad things. A song choice. Let me have a look.
So you say you're a Christian. Have you recently been a Christian, or you have all your life? Has your dad been a Christian all his life?
Oh, all my life, I lost faith. I lost belief when I was about 17 to 19, using drugs and stuff. So that's a big bang to get home to the Father God, healing and purity. But yeah, no, it's during these tough times you need someone to turn to, and God is there. So it's always good to be a Christian.
Blimey, you've opened up a can of worms here now. So did you had drug addiction, and was you did you go through counselling and things like that?
Yeah, no, actually smoked plenty of weed. No offence if you think it's good. Did some cat ease, crystal meth, and I turned schizophrenic.
Is this in South Africa?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I turned schizophrenic. I was hearing voices. I was struggling to interpret conversations and hallucinating, like permanent damage. And just like thinking strange thoughts, heavy paranoia. I was brain damaged, bad. Wow. My mum was in tears. You're not my son anymore, this, that. But they sorted me right out, medication, therapy, church, and I'm back to normal. So
that's amazing.
Well, what was the turning point in that then? Was it your mum saying something to you, or was it you sitting there going, like, I need to change my life now?
Yeah, they could tell something's not right in me anymore. I was suffering depression as well. So obviously the drug abuse was part of that, and my mom and dad, they just came down on me. They said, if you want to live at home, we're going to start drug testing you. You can either be our family or I can frig off.
Wow.
And yeah, so they sorted me right out.
Well, you can see how close you are to your family, so them saying something like that to you is enough to make you change your ways, I imagine.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, my dad's a strong lad. He's from Rochdale. He's rough himself. He knows better. I mean, people is going, I'm only going to smoke weed. I'll only ever have a line. It's just this one occasion. You need a wake-up call because you're heading down to the depths of hell. You're going to suffer bad. There's only one way. You're going down a bad path. You're either in or you're out, so get out of it.
Well, that's a great way of ending it. No, it is. I didn't even mean that to take the piss. You gave someone advice there. And so, yeah.
No, you're going to die. I've lost mates, overdose, family members, car crashes. It's bad. Get out of it. I'm choosing a song here.
Oh, yeah. Right. I thought you were just texting your mates. Right.
Oh, yeah. Can't stand that. You talk to me if you socialise. A good song. Let's see.
He's still choosing a song. I forgot about that bit.
We got too much.
So you talk about car crashes. I know you're trying to multitask here, but have you been involved in any when it comes to that?
Fortunately not.
Right.
That's actually one of my embarrassing moments. Just got a scooter. Didn't let go of the accelerator. Went straight through the garage door with my mate on the back.
Oh no.
Oh, so bad. Lying on the floor, the thing's going...
Although we tried that in Rome, didn't we? We went to Rome last year and they had all those e-scooters out there. So...
Yeah, but they're actual scooters. I think he's on about a moped, didn't you? You on about a moped?
No, actual scooter,
oh,
125,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, 125.
You're on the electrics, I think.
Yeah,
we're on about the stand-on scooter.
Yeah. So we tried one of those and, oh my God, never again.
I loved it.
He was going, let's get fast. I'm like, no, I'm hanging off the back here because it's really meant for one person. But he said, jump on the back of mine.
Right.
I was like,
It was good.
Yeah.
Did you fall?
No.
Oh, then you're fine, man.
Yeah, so why is she moaning? It was cobbled roads, though, which is a bit bumpy. But
so he was trying to talk, going,
yeah. My gut's hanging out while we talk. That's not nice for the podcast. Okay, I was going to ask another question, but I think because you mentioned scooters, Rach, I've forgotten now.
Sorry, I distracted you.
Yeah, it's gone. You found your song?
Let's have a look. Might have a good in
Sorry
you.
about Rachel coughing throughout the whole podcast. She's always got a cold. Always.
Yeah, no, look, being South African, it's always hard to be in a foreign country, but I'm a good person, so don't ever mistake the good people from there, you know. It's, you got to be sure if they're an evil person or not, so don't hurt their feelings, please.
That's nice. The other thing I was going to ask was about South Africa and how do you feel safe there when you're there? Do you live in a gated community, that type of thing?
Yeah, look, obviously what's going to happen if you colonise a place and you make ghettos where there's drugs, guns, knives and these gangsters is caused a hell of a situation. I mean, you can't really walk around with your cell phone in the streets, park up in your driveway, you know, you got to always be on the lookout. You get smashed and grabbed, and my mom's handbag got pinched the other day. My sister was held gunpoint like early last year or something like that. Cleaned her out, so, you know, there's ruthless people out there. It's not a matter of skin, it's a matter of drugs and hate, and it's scary stuff. But the good side is beautiful, so enjoy it if you go.
Yeah, so tell us about the beautiful side, because we only hear about the people getting robbed side and the security side. So let's balance it out a bit. Give us a bit of, I know this podcast is going on forever, but I don't care because you're really interested.
No, it's cool stuff. South Africa, the good side. I'm even going back. I love it. It's where my heart is. You know, black people there, they're really exciting, they're funny, they just, that feeling of their soul and emotion, I miss them. So all of my Jeds from South Africa. But yeah, you can go nature reserves, see the big five, the lions, the cheetahs, the zebras, giraffes, elephants.
Hedgehogs.
Sure.
Go on, carry on.
Pumbas. I've got family who's safari members there, so give us a shout if you need some connections. It's amazing, so romantic in the sunsets, the bush. Go Joburg, good party, good vibes, very friendly, welcoming, and yeah, that's the good of it.
Well done. Right, okay, what's this song? You found it?
I'm thinking Shape of My Heart by Sting, eh?
Shape of my Heart. You can't play it too long because of copyright reasons. Okay.
No, it's not that one. It's not that one.
We're in this podcast when he finds this song. I'm determined to stay on it until he finds this song. So it's not Shape of My Heart by Sting. It's
One second. You can cut this part.
No, we don't cut a thing on here.
Right. Views number 6.
How many have we got on the song list now?
I don't know, Rach. I have no idea. Well, I can give you a bullshit answer if you want. I think we got about, I would say we've got about 30 to 50 songs, which I know is a big 20 gap.
I love the way that yours was our first answer. Mine was like Rude Boy by Rihanna.
Yeah.
I got a tune, guys.
Okay, here we go.
Sting, Fields of Gold.
Fields of Gold by Sting. We'll add that on there for you.
Perfect.
No problem.
And your one
Gotta
as well.
love it.
Lovely to meet you, mate, and good luck back home
And
with your
thank you so
family.
much.
And thank you for sharing your story of drugs and and South Africa and tattoos and smashing into a garage door.
Yeah, no, it was a good chat, you know. I might have got a bit loud at times, but it was...
Not at all.
Thanks for having me, and I hope it's a good show for you guys.
That was amazing.
Perfect.
Thank
right.
you.
We're definitely going now. So like, subscribe, all that stuff that we get you to do. And this one may be on TV, but we'll talk about that when it's official. So you never know. All right then. Thanks,
Get me
everyone.
on. Sweet.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, that was bang on.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Gee.
Club Awesome, for autistic children and their families, a place where everyone belongs and fun knows no age limit.
Today's sponsors are
Bond Carpentry, where precision meets creativity.
from bespoke cupboards to second fix carpentry, garden houses, and even the Cherrywood Podcast sign. Call 07738 732 931.
Bond Carpentry, licensed to drill.
This podcast has been brought to you by Snugdubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk.